was a typo, and I'm like, welcome to Under Two Capes. I am Jared, and I am here with Robert Willen. What's up, brother?
Yo!
And I'm here with my brother from the UK, Taladia Plays. What's going on, dude?
What's up, everybody?
And today, what we are discussing is, I put here obscure animation, but what I mean is like animated shows for like DC or Marvel particularly that like you wish got more attention but didn't, or like
so no, what Wildcats or Ultra Force?
that counts because you know what's kind of funny. I actually like the Wildcats show.
This was before the DC merger, so
Before that, yeah, exactly. But my first show, Avengers Assembled.
that was your first show.
That was my choice because here's why. Because I think that. By the way, I watched that show before Earth's Mightiest Hero, so that's probably why I have a little bit more of an what's the word
Experience.
Yeah, exactly. So
for me, it was X-Men and Spider-Man.
yeah, so we'll get to that. But I think because the critique that I saw with Assembled is that people were upset that like there was a lot of like them trying to synergize with the MCU, like with the costumes and stuff.
And the jokes.
Yeah, to a degree. Although I will say one of the best like jokes from Assembled was, and this is actually a when they did Carol Danvers really well. What they did was, so Carol Danvers shows up and she goes to Cap. She goes, "What's up, Army?" And he goes, "What's up, Air Force?" And I'm like, okay, I can't hate that joke right there. That's such a good joke.
That sounds like a Hal John bit too.
Yeah, essentially it's that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I like that. Also, really good depiction of Carol Danvers. And then you go, yeah, they're a lot to show. Yeah, and then obviously like the Batman was good, which I like really dug, but really, yeah, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I would say, would be Assembled is one of those shows where I'm like, because they tried to like, what's the word? They tried to like mix it up a little bit with like having like, first you had the Squadron Supreme actually show up and except they're all evil, which obviously, and realistically when they showed up, hey, what's up, Sally Girl and Tevia? You had a ton of stuff with like, what's the word? With like evil Superman and the Justice League essentially beating the crap out of the Avengers, which I totally knew what was going to happen. So there you go. Plus, I really dug the whole Captain America dynamic and how Falcon was supposed to be War Machine, but he got the Falcon suit. That was kind of cool. I like that one. And obviously Thor, I really love Thor. This is one of my favorite depictions of Thor, I think, animation. Kirby says I binged Avengers Assembled 7 times. It's a fun show. It's not the best Avengers show because, yeah, the best is probably EMH. 100% the best is EMH. But in terms of like
Underrated.
Yeah, underrated and stuff that like deserves more love than it gets, because I think the thing about Assembled is that it gets more hate than it deserves. I think it was around this time that like EMH got canceled, so everyone was like really pissed that it got canceled and they took it out on Assembled is what I think personally. What do you guys think? I'll start with Robert.
So here, do you guys hear me good, or do I sound weird?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. I didn't care for Assemble.
All right, fair enough.
I didn't care about the jokes, and if I recall, I could be misremembering, but didn't it ever be a point where it seems like Cap died, and yet Tony's making jokes about it?
In the first episode is like Cap died, but he was just teleported and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but Tony, if I recall, Tony did not know that, but he's cracking jokes about it. It's like, really, Tony? That just lost me.
Yeah, all right, that's fair enough. Taladia,
like, really, you're going to make jokes of a teammate's death.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to take this seriously then.
Mm-hmm.
But Earth's mightiest, I think I'll agree with so many people. What won me over with that show was Wasp.
Yeah, she was good. I'll give you that.
That's Wasp.
Yeah. So, Taladia,
Yeah.
have you seen Assembled?
Avengers Assembled I've seen. The one which Disney XD owned.
Yep, it's that one.
Yep. The one which was in continuity with the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yep, essentially. That's the other one that people do not like. But also, that's not what I'm gonna defend Ultimate Spider-Man, because I found that show ridiculously cringe.
I'll be honest with you. I think Avengers Assemble, like for me personally, yes, it was underrated, and I think it's one of those cartoons that try to connect, or try to not connect, try to corroborate with the movie side of it in terms of the stylized, the costume designs, because over a period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I respect it for trying to make that attempt. But yeah, the stories were good, but not that brilliant. But
Yeah, I said Earth's Mightiest definitely felt like closer to Justice League, style, or DC AU style writing there. That's like the much of care and everything. Assemble felt like this is the point when Loeb was in charge and it started to show.
And by the way, in terms of like, no, we said Assembled tied into like Spectacular. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't like tied in. It was Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, that tied into.
No, originally they
go ahead.
had the voice for what was his name? The voice for Spidey and Spectacular. He was also
Josh Keaton?
What? Yeah, Josh Keaton was doing the voice in Earth's Mightiest, but because the show got ended, they redubbed him with the Ultimate voice.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, originally it was meant to be tied in, but because Spectacular got canceled and they were going to be ramping up Earth's Mightiest by that point anyway, they decided let's just do a synergy with Ultimate instead.
Yeah, and then Tavia brings up also Spider-Man 2017 connected to the show with Drake Bell as the voice. He wasn't that bad of a Spider-Man.
Favorite.
Still not. Yeah, is that the one where like they had the Web Warriors?
Yep.
That was not good. I didn't like that show.
You had Luke Cage, I think, and White Tigress or whatever.
And didn't they also get like Agent Venom, and then like Amadeus Cho became Iron Spider?
Yep.
I'm like, what? It was weird. Kirby says, honestly, I only liked it because more Spider-Man. Yeah, fair enough. It's just more Spider-Man content, so you can't really that much complain. But I'm gonna go to Robert. What's like a show for you that you think deserves more love?
The MTV Spider-Man show.
Oh, you mean the one that was supposed to tie into the Raimi movies?
Technically, I question that because they kill off Lizard in one of the episodes.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said supposed to tie in.
Well, originally it wasn't. Originally it was supposed to be its own thing, closer to Ultimate Spider-Man, which is why Bendis was initially involved. Then they decided, let's add more elements to it, but clearly it was a rejiggering. But you had
Hang
Neil
on.
Why did you say that name?
You said he who must not be named.
Hey, he ties the Ultimate Spider-Man.
No, but you could say he who must not be named.
Yeah, you said that.
Actually, bro, where we
But-
hate Lois and talk badly about Tom King and Brian Michael Bendis.
All right, as I was saying was, then you had Neil Patrick Harris doing a phenomenal Peter and Spidey.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good. I'll give you that. He was pretty good. I'll give you
And
that.
that's, again, there was a lot that had such good potential with this being a bit more mature.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean that was definitely one. I'd also say Beware the Batman is another one.
Beware the Batman was interesting. I saw like one episode of that, and I saw a summary of it. Yeah, the thing that's interesting about that show is like I could kind of see. I'm wondering, did Reeves get a little inspiration from that, because you have like the Alfred that taught Bruce Wayne how to fight, or even like was this like inspired by like Batman Earth 1, where it's like you have the Alfred that's like an ex like SAS soldier. Hey, what's up, Cameron? And then he taught like Bruce how to fight. I'm like, I'm kind of seeing that.
Yeah, no, that one I definitely think it was taking stuff from Earth One and everything.
Which
But
that's fine. See, the thing I liked about that show is that it was unique. It was trying to do its own thing, like the Batman.
and it was trying to use obscure villains like Magpie
Yeah, I have no
and
idea who that
Mr.
is.
Toad. Magpie was from the very first in Man of Steel when Superman and Batman first teamed up. It was against her.
Oh, you mean the John
The one
Byrne
that had shiny things.
MOS?
Yeah, the one who likes shiny things.
Okay, now I remember who it is because I read that it's contained in the first like hardcover. I think I have that issue.
Yeah, but then Batman said she died during Superman Batman. Then it turned out she didn't die until 1 year later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And yeah. So Taladia, how about you? What's an animated show that you think doesn't get discussed enough?
If I'm honest with you, it's definitely one of them is the Batman, right?
Okay, there you go.
04. And I would have to say the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, yes.
That's a good one. So here's the thing with the Batman. I see why some people have issues with it, primarily with
Can I
like
do the joke? Can I do the joke?
Yeah, go
Batman
ahead.
doesn't eat nachos.
or the Joker design.
They fixed that fast. They fixed that one.
They did
fast.
fix it, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And honestly, in the later seasons, I liked how they slowly introduced each member of the Justice League.
Oh yeah.
Slowly.
It feels like they actually had a myth arc going throughout the entirety of the Batman, of him going from his first year to experience to the Justice League.
Yeah, and that was really cool. It told like a succinct story. By the way, Tammy picks up another good one, but the Batman Brave and the Bold.
That oh boy, that one deserves. I gotta say that one is just. I can't complain anything about it. It had the great balance of being goofy yet slipping in jokes for the adults.
I love how like I think there was one, but actually, you know what? I'm going to give one. Justice League Action. Here's why. And I'm not just talking about because of Super Wonder. There's this great scene where you see all the different types of Batman, and then they literally recreate like the Batman the animated series thing with the lightning.
Well, you know, that also helped continue a plot point from Green Lantern.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that I survived.
Yeah, so it's like this. See, I like that where like they try and like factor in everything, which is kind of funny. So if they do the Aya survived in that, does that mean that also Young Justice ties in that because Razor's in Young Justice?
That's hard to say because you could say we do know that Aya is in crisis. That they made that clear. It is tying to.
Yep,
that.
she is in crisis. I remember seeing her, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Yep.
But
you know, it's the Green Lantern show. That deserves to be on this.
Yes, it does. Because
that is one of their best and squandered.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You know what that is? That is DC Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That's what it is.
Yes, especially how they brought in the anti-monitor. I wasn't a big fan of the changes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, an attempt was made.
I gotta say, I can't believe how good Tom Kenny did as the voice.
And you know what's great? This show is why Jeremy Adams is such a great Green Lantern writer. Yeah, I'm like, as soon as I saw his name and like the writer's credits for Green Lantern the animated series, I was like, okay, that explains it.
Yep, and that was still a Bruce Timm show.
I know. Okay, now the one change that I really at first didn't like until I realized why they did it is the changes to the Red Lantern oath. I get why they can't in a kid show talk about an oath that says ripped from a corpse so freshly dead.
Yeah.
So I understand that. So I'm like, okay, fine. I understand what you're going for here.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you can't. Now, unfortunately, the problem with Green Lantern, just like with Young Justice, it was, you do know that cartoon, you know how it was Warner Brothers? They're different fight dumps. They do not work along well with each other.
No, they do not.
Cartoon Network did not like being forced because they were going to see no revenue from it. Zero. So they sabotaged that DC Nation. They sabotaged it. It's been no secret. They went out of their way to derail it. And they only kept Teen Titans Go because they couldn't argue it.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Kirby says the Teen Titans cameo in Young Justice is probably just a quick way of saying we had our own Green Lantern animated series in our universe, and we also want people nostalgic. Yeah, that's true. Well, plus
But
also
to
it's
a
like
point, yeah.
because it doesn't directly contradict Green Lantern the animated series, we can say it's canon. It's not like it's not like in this case we really need the creator. We don't need what Weissman to say, yeah, it's canon. Because there's no contradictions and razors in there. I'll just say it happened later.
Yep. And I gotta say, I loved how the voice for Razor went out of his way to do the Blue Lantern oath because that was meant to happen.
What a great idea to have half red, half blue. I'm like, okay,
Well, that happened
that's dope.
already.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so another show that I kind of actually, you know what? Let's talk about like Legion as Eladia brought up because I never watched this show.
I did.
Okay.
For one, they brought in Aperiax in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, do you mind if I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. It was your thing.
So I was gonna say that Legion of Superheroes basically was an 06 show, and they only had 2 seasons. The
Mhm.
first season was basically based around Clark Kent learning his powers. So basically, how Secret Origin was, Jared,
Yeah.
in the book when.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, though, due to the Superboy lawsuit, they had to say he was just becoming Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they kind of had to use the Superman name in Legion of Superheroes.
Then,
So because
yeah.
go on.
then the second season, they got rid of Superman and basically went with what happened post-crisis when they retconned Superman out of the Legion with the all but Superman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by the way, opposing status quo. Yeah, we're mainly talking about like animated shows that don't necessarily get a lot of attention. But by the way, so Robert, Mask of Shy is asking you to outline the Superboy lawsuit.
Okay. Here we go. The Superboy lawsuit also goes with the Superman lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because and you had this guy, I forget his name, but the lawyer's a scumbag. He's helped out the Kirby estate and Siegel and Schuster estate, but he's in it because he wants to get the rights. If he can get them the rights, he gets the rights in return, and he wanted to do his own little thing.
Oh, and Robert dropped, but
Yeah.
So well, he'll be back momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. Barry Tavia brings up Static Shock. Static Shock was good and part of the, at least to a degree, part of the DCAU, which, hey, that's a fantastic show.
But I was going to bring this up, right? When it comes down to the Legion of Superheroes show, even though you had 2 seasons, fun fact for you guys, Yuri Lowenthal was Superman, a.k.a. the voice of Spider-Man in the
So
video
you're
game.
saying he was Super Spider?
So basically, yes, he's another guy who played Superman before playing Spider-Man.
That's great. I love that. Thoughts on Hulk versus Thor anime? I haven't watched it yet. We'll probably do that for movie night at some point.
Would you believe there's only 3 actors that have played Superman and Spider-Man retrospectively?
All right, outline them.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah, Cage did play Spider-Man. I was like, wait, he played Spider-Man?
Yeah. Yuri Lowenthal. I can't remember the third one, but Yuri Lowenthal is the second one. I do know for a fact.
Mm-hmm. That works. I like that.
Isn't an elite club? Apparently, there's an elite club for that. So
oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Which I'm like, hey WB, here's a good idea for an Elseworld stuff. Make an animated movie for like Justice League Mortal and Superman Lives. By the way, and
Where
Robert's
did you
back.
lose me?
So you lost me at like the scumbag lawyer.
Oh, I was wondering why I didn't hear anyone respond.
Yeah. Okay. So scumbag lawyer, go.
Okay. Mark, I can forget the guy's name, but yeah, the scumbag lawyer. He wanted them to, either was Kirby or the Siegel Schusters, help them get the rights back, and they would give him the rights.
Okay.
And everything. That was his plan. Didn't work. Now, first, long story short, the end of the lawsuit was resolved when it was made very clear with DC was proof that Siegel and Schuster both gave their rights off. Even Schuster, he wrote it down before he died, and a judge considered it counted. But during this time, Superboy, were given the rights to saying they did create Superboy. They have that. There was no agreement there, and it wasn't work for hire. They get the rights.
Okay.
So during that time is when they couldn't use it. You had Superboy Prime being Superman Prime. When they talked about the reign of Superman and Superman Doomsday's documentary, they had to call him the Kid.
The Metropolis Kid.
Yeah, exactly. They had to call him that. They couldn't even show much for him because they didn't want to risk things while they were appealing the decision.
Yeah.
So during that brief time, they were just erring on the side of caution.
Yeah, and by Cameron, we talked a little bit about Beware the Batman earlier. But Tevia brings up a good one, Wolverine and the X-Men.
Oh, and you know what ties into that?
What?
Versus.
Oh, yeah!
At least the Wolverine part.
Yeah, the Wolverine part did. And also X-Men Evolution is X-Men Evolution probably has one of the most badass theme songs for an animated thing.
You know what? I still love Rogue and Kitty from that show.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one. But that's also where we get X-23!
Yep.
She essentially is Marvel's Harley Quinn in that sense. She started off with an animated show. Yeah, or Montoya. Yeah, exactly. But Wolverine the X-Men was dope because also I love shows that give representation to Emma Frost and for her being a good mutant. I was gonna say good guy, but she's not a guy. Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Greatest Heroes. That's a good one.
Love the She-Hulk episode. Dan Slott co-wrote that one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I love where she turns into the Hulk and then reads like, "Hey, you wouldn't happen to have any relation to?" And then she goes, "The Hulk's my cousin."
Yeah, he's my cousin.
I love that. I love that. That was a good one.
I also love how she's held up, captured, and then she just reverts back to Jen to slip out, reverts back to She-Hulk, and the woman's like, "You can't do that. The Thing never could do that."
I got a good one.
Yeah.
Iron Man Armored Adventures.
Ooh, yes. 3D animation with that one.
How about this? The 90s Iron Man cartoon.
I am Iron Man.
My joke is Ozzy Dotsu was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of those 90s animated shows don't get the attention they deserve.
Besides Spidey and X-Men.
Spidey and X-Men are the only two that people are like, oh, yes.
Although, to be fair, Camp got screwed because there was a movie that was going to go on. Not that movie, a different movie. And Avengers really got screwed.
I'll give you that.
And also the Incredible Hulk, 90s Incredible Hulk.
Oh, that was UPN, yeah.
And Lou Ferrigno.
Yes. Yep, he was in
one.
the show.
And the guy who voiced Bruce was Bruce in the Ultimate Hulk, this Ultimate Destruction game.
Which that's like one of my absolute favorite Hulk games ever. Because I'm sorry, it's like see. Here's the thing. Actually, you know what's kind of funny? Speaking of games, the Hulk tie-in for the movie is actually really good.
Oh yeah, it's a sequel.
To the point where if you have Iron Man installed on your console, like a record of playing Iron Man, you get the Hulkbuster suit, and when he like roars, it's Tony screaming. I love that. It's so good. Plus, you can fight essentially the Fantastic Four, but not the Fantastic Four.
Right.
Yeah, Iron Man Armored Adventures was great, and we just talked about that, Savia.
Yeah, that was them doing. Well, we didn't talk much. You brought it up, and then I changed subjects. To be fair.
Yeah. So it's the thing about Armored Adventures.
Team Tony done right.
Yeah, it is Team Tony done right. So many shows have tried to do that. Like, I got to be honest, when they did that in Assembled, it was really cringe.
But you know the thing is, right? Armored Adventures, I think it was a stepping stone for DC to try that 3D animation type of thing.
True.
Possibly.
Because the reason...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, I was gonna bring up a comment. Enzo brings up Marvel Superhero Squad. I haven't watched that one.
Oh, yep, that's a fun one. And boy, Carol Danvers as Ms. Marvel is great. That's the
yes.
one where she, because of a love ray, falls in love with MODOK.
Oh gosh.
It's played for laughs, of course.
Oh, Robert, here's one that we can talk about. Superhero Girls.
Oh, good one. I really like that show. It is a shame that it got canceled, but at least they gave it a send-off with the movie to wrap up plot points. But yeah, the fact that it originally started as Super Best Friends Forever, or as Wonder Girl would call it, the Sabuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you had Lauren Foss, who did My Little Pony. She's the wife of Craig McCracken and all that, worked on this. And while some of the characterizations are off, like Jessica, nothing like Jessica.
Yeah. I was like,
But-
well, that's not Jessica Cruz.
I got a good one.
Yeah, go
Another
ahead.
one. The Zeta Project.
Ooh,
Never
yes,
watched it.
That's the spin-off for Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Really? I
Yeah.
never watched that show.
Yeah, yeah.
Take
They did
take a
an
look at it.
episode of the Backdoor Pilot. And
Yeah.
It was a backdoor pilot from Batman Beyond, and basically, it was a robot, living in the real world, basically.
Mhm.
in that world, it was one of those things, kind of like when Power Rangers did Kamen Rider and all that, or Mask
Mhm.
Rider,
Yeah,
where
Mask
basically
Rider.
they were united initially and then separated when it spun off.
Okay, I see that.
But,
That
but,
kinda
but it
makes
does
sense.
count. Oh, Static Shock.
Yeah, we brought that up.
Oh.
Teen Titan. The crossover with Teen Titans Go.
What, the DC Superhero Girl Show? That was the finale, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Teen Titans Go, I got to bring this up, Taladia. Remember when Zack Snyder came on that show? And I love where they wanted to give him the Snyder cut. So Robin has this dream where they're in like the Snyder cut, and it's really good, like animation. And then Starfire goes, "Why is it raining?" And then Cyborg goes, "Who cares? It's epic."
I gotta say, it's gotten better. It's been made no secret. The reason why that show started off so weak was they just chugged episodes. It was like a chug episodes out. That any little idea, anything, because they were given like just get all these episodes out.
Yeah, exactly. By Mask of Shy says, I still think a DCU Snyderverse anime continuation in different anime style like Love, Death, and Robots would work nicely. Yes, because if you look at because here's the thing about Love, Death, and Robots, there are some episodes where I'm like, this is animated.
Yeah. Oh, someone brought up Vixen.
Yeah. The Vixen thing.
That was
Yes.
CW. That was official CW.
Yeah, and they actually have Stephen Amell and Grant come back to play Ollie and Flash.
And the actors would actually appear in one of the shows.
Yeah, it's really good. It's actually, that is underrated. That not a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
got
was
good.
wasn't it a web series initially?
Yeah, it was a web. Yeah, it was a web series. Yeah, from CWC or something like that.
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
here's the one then. Gotham Girls. That was a web series.
Oh,
Where
I
was
know what
that?
you're talking about. That's the DCAU thing.
Yeah, that was it's Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman.
I never heard of that.
I talked to you about it before.
Wait, let me see this.
And there was a Lobo web series
Oh, wow.
where Lobo was much more comic accurate.
Okay, I see.
Which
I see.
which leads to this one bit. It's the whole bit with that one waitress at a bar that he's known for liking, but she's too dim to realize how bad he is for her and all that. And there's a point where one guy's trying to say, "Oh, Lobo and I made a deal. Which one of you will bed you first and everything?" And she then runs to Lobo thinking this guy's crazy. So she's like, "He told me, he said you made a challenge to date me." And I knew he was lying. Fragaday, he lied. I said drill ya, not date ya. And I was like,
Yeah.
drill ya.
By the way, Crypto the Super Dog was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was a really good show. Even though you had Superman in there for about 5-10 seconds.
Because it's called Crypto the Super Dog.
Yeah.
Like
But
I say, which version of Crypto do you prefer? That or the League of Super Pets or whatever?
Crypto the super dog. Easy.
Crypto Super Dog.
Yep. Well, I prefer the villain from League of Pets.
Yeah, that one's good. I'll give you that.
But I have another one. Spider-Man Unlimited.
Oh,
Oh, I know which one that is.
which one?
That's the one where Spider-Man goes to Counter Earth because Venom and Carnage teamed up.
Oh, yes, that was the one that was that treated like it was the follow-up to
Yeah, the 90s
Spider-Man.
the
show.
90s series, even though and it was done in response to Batman Beyond.
Yeah, they gave Spider-Man a cape.
I mean,
And he
I like
fought
the design.
animal
I
people.
like the outfit.
Yeah, also, why are Venom and Carnage teaming up? They never would. What's up, Thoth? Yeah, they never would.
They never would.
But also in that show.
And we're Cletus and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the
Also-
symbiote.
But also fun fact for you: the guy who voices Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is Batman in the Batman cartoon.
Ah!
Rino Romano. And you want to know who else he's done?
Who?
You ever seen Sailor Moon?
No.
Oh. Well, anyone who has done, he was the very first English voice for the character of Tuxedo Mask from that show.
Yeah, and Barry Cameron. Yeah, they hate each other. There's no way Venom and Carnage would team up. No, absolutely no way. Even back then, there was absolutely no way. That was the one time Peter and Venom teamed to fight Carnage.
That's what they always do.
That's what they always do. No way Carnage and Venom are teaming up. Under no circumstances would that happen.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. And there was a rat girl in that show, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
And a good goblin. Of course, there was a good goblin by that point in the comics.
Yeah, I know. And again, it's like when I'm watching that show, because I watched an episode, because I was like, okay, let me see why people don't like this. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, also, Spider-Man had a nanotech suit.
Which, again, that was a good design.
stole.
It was a good design, but I'm like, Spider-Man does not need a nanotech suit. Oh my gosh.
Funny thing though is, Jennifer Hale, who voiced Black Cat in the animated series, voiced MJ for what brief time we saw her in it, which led to the PlayStation game where Reno Romano reprised as Spidey, and she voiced both Felicia and MJ.
All right, I gotta give it extra points because it features Jennifer Hale voicing a character, and she can do no wrong. All right,
Yep.
all right. I gotta do it because it's a hailstorm. Max says I don't see anyone talking about Marvel animes. The Marvel animes.
Oh,
The Technovore, Punisher, Black Widow.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or how about?
Wolverine. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna bring up they technically count the motion comics the Marvel had done, because there were ones where they were practically animated series.
Yeah, those still count. But still, it's because they did one on like the first volume of You Must Not Be Named X-Men.
Actually, they did the whole thing. They did the whole thing.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
They also did not Christopher Priest. Reginald Hudlin's Black Panther, which actually wound up being aired on that one channel that was meant for black programming, BEI or something.
BET.
BET. Yeah, Black Panther aired on that. You had a bunch of Wolverine ones.
Oh, dope. That's dope. Yeah. They had a lot of those really good ones. And
Another animated show that's really underrated is Superman 85. Ruby Spears.
oh yes, I recently watched an episode. I watched the Wonder Woman episode of that.
Funny thing about that. The person who was in charge of that show refused to have any comic writers on board because he felt that comic writers don't know anything about writing for TV shows. But hey, Marv Wolfman, you're good with TV stuff. Come work with me. I'm not going to tell him. That's how Marv was.
Exactly.
I'm not going to tell him.
Now I understand where he's coming from, but yeah, it is kind of a dick move to leave out everyone else. They go, Marv, it's not like you wrote like one of the seminal DC events.
Oh, and he was working on Superman at the same time.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
This guy did not read comics, so he wouldn't have seen his name on the title.
True. It also brings up Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Okay.
Oh,
That's a good one.
yep. Or the
Where-
80s Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Or the 60s Spider-Man.
Oh, yep. Hey, you're pointing at me.
Oh, yeah, the pointing memes. Yeah, that's where that comes from. And they
The
literally
Fletcher-
did that at the end of Spider-Verse.
The Fletcher
Yep.
Superman cartoons.
What? Oh, the Fleischer ones. Yeah, we need to discuss. I think Britt and I are going to do a discussion on those because those are.
Oh, by the way, you know who appeared? Did you know Wonder Woman appeared in the Brady Bunch cartoon?
Really?
Yep.
All right, hang on. I have to Google this. Wonder Woman Brady Bunch. I have to look this up because if so, I'm watching this. Oh, God.
Told ya.
It's called Brady Kids. It's all geek to me.
Told ya.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Wow.
Show
It's
it.
Golden Age Wonder Woman. Not bad.
Show it.
All right, hang on. I'll show it. I can't put the sound on, but we'll just go off of this. There she is. Hang on.
Oh, it's Super Friends. It's
Yep, there you go.
oh, the Super Friends is something that's been forgotten.
Oh yeah, the super. It's because that is the show that like made Aquaman a joke until Momoa was
And
cast as
Hawkman.
him. And Hawkman, yes.
And to be fair, but yeah, he was getting fixed initially.
General
by
audience
and,
perspective-wise, Robert.
Brave and the Bold.
Brave
and the Bold started it.
Again, general audience.
I think general audience were starting to get more understanding. Although, to be fair, you know what actually did more damage to Aquaman than even Super Friends?
What?
Entourage.
Oh, yeah.
They had an entire plot line going on about an Aquaman movie, and they just kept focusing on making him a joke.
Or like in the Big Bang Theory, when they're all dressing as Justice Leaguers, and they go, I don't want to be Aquaman, he sucks. Or when it's like...
I don't care for that show.
When they want to go as the Muppet Babies, and they go, you're Scooter. I don't want to be Scooter. Scooter sucks. He's the Aquaman of the Muppet Babies. Oh, jeez, that's good.
70s Batman. Oh, geez, remember they had Batmite in that Fleischer one?
Yeah. Oh, remember Scooby-Doo and Batman?
And Batman 2.
Yeah, exactly. That was hilarious that they did that.
Yep, with the later Super Friends, where you actually had Adam West voicing him, and you had the first proper adaptation of Batman's origins, written by Alan Burnett.
That explains it.
And the funny thing though is that they treat it like Robin's never heard the origin about his parent. What happened to it? The death of the Waynes.
Which you would think everyone in Gotham would know, at least about the Waynes getting killed.
He never knew, but yeah, because of Scarecrow, he's starting to relive it. It is actually one of the darker Super Friends. I mean, it's not that dark, but compared to everything else.
Yeah, that's true. Compared to everything else with Superman, form of a bucket of water.
Yeah. Oh, and you also have the death of Superman.
Wait, they did the death of Superman, the Super Friends?
Well, to be fair, they believed he died because he was exposed to a giant thing of kryptonite, but it turns out he was actually in a trance that was able to prevent him from being, dying from it all. But they didn't realize he was in the trance until later. But they did treat it like he died.
Yeah, but the funny thing about the Super Friends,
more Silver Agey than just absurd.
Yeah, and the funny thing about the Super Friends is that when you look at like all the like hoops they had to jump through, like the censors were concerned about them using Darkseid because the villain's called Darkseid.
What they called him Darkseid, and that's the reason why Alex Ross always says it's Darkseid and it's Mixoplex.
No, I say Darkseid.
Of course. Oh, it's because of those the galactic powers and all that they were able to get Kirby rights to the New Gods.
Who?
No, they said Kirby
Hmm?
worked on redesigns in the later stuff, including the New Gods, and Paul Levitz was able to use that to skirt around and get Kirby rights to the
Oh,
characters.
okay, that's great. That
Or
works.
something like
That
that.
definitely. QT Comics says Batman in Shanghai. Where was that?
That was the DC Nations.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Oh, remember Super Baby?
Oh yeah. Oh, Silver Surfer.
I don't remember
Oh,
that show.
oh boy, you know what? That show pretty much gave a bittersweet finale to that old Marvel universe,
Really?
because the last season ended with the universe being destroyed by Thanos.
Oh, okay, I see.
But now, granted, it was supposed to be revolved next season, but there wasn't a next season, so people took it and say that's where the shared. Because that was a shared. All those Marvel movies in the '90s were all shared.
But here's the funny part. Then you get X-Men 97.
Yep.
Which I guess the universe came back.
Oh, that's what everyone has since said.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right. So, yeah, it's like the minute you see like Spider-Man and MJ together in that, because Spider-Man obviously saved MJ off screen, I'm like, okay, stuff has happened behind the scenes to bring everything back.
Yep. You know, the voice of MJ tried to work on a fan project that was supposed to do its own handling on Peter saving MJ, and she was going to do her voice for it. Never got anywhere.
Of course.
You know who the voice of Peter was in that show?
Who?
Christopher Daniel Barnes, aka Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, really? That's great. So he'd
And
be
I'll-
Prince Peter?
I always remember, shocker! You think you can hide from me? I'll follow you to the ends of the earth.
I love, by the way, that the actor that voiced him in the game did that at a Comic-Con for a fan.
Yep.
I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
yep,
I like that.
Yep,
He knows the. See, that was the biggest like wasted opportunity.
Yuri Lowenthal.
Yeah, Robert, that was the biggest like wasted opportunity in that, because you have the Shocker in that game and you have the black suit. You don't have him say that once. Come on.
You don't. I know. And you know what? When they did Spider-Man, what was it? Into the Dimension game.
Shadow Dimension or something like
Shadow
that.
Dimension. They had Christopher Daniel Barnes voicing Spider-Man Noir. You had Neil Patrick Harris doing proper Spider-Man. You had Josh Keaton doing Ultimate Spider-Man, the black suit, and you had the '60s, the Amazing Friend actor voicing him in voicing Spidey 2099 in that game.
Dope. That's a lot of Spidey people.
Yep. And then when they did The Edge of Time, they had Christopher Daniel Barnes as 2099 and Neil Patrick Harris as still a mainline Spidey.
Yeah, and then we have Classic Fantastic Four. It's another good one. It's another good one. So I
beat Tavia to the punch.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I think that's a good place to leave it. So, Taladia, where can we find you? So drop below in the comments what your favorite animated show that you don't think gets enough attention and that should be like remembered or like contributed to characters and stuff. And yeah, so Taladia, where can we find you and what have you got coming on your channel?
You guys can check me out on YouTube at Taladia Plays. What are coming up on my channel is this weekend I'll be doing some streams on Twitch for Sparking Zero, and I'll also be doing some streams next week for Marvel Rivals because I kind of had a big problem, so there's a whole thing. But anyway, make sure you guys hop over, and I'll also be doing some Snyder Fans Read Comics next week as well.
As for me, tomorrow I will be tomorrow's obviously CLD, and then on Saturday this week's movie night is gonna be Justice Society World War II, aka the Wonder Woman Tomorrowverse movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Britt and I are going to be talking about Wonder Woman and Superman Earth 1 and the good parts of it, the bad parts of it, and if we thought it was like a successful attempt to like reboot, to like restart Superman and Wonder Woman for a modern audience. Wonder Woman Wednesday I'm still thinking about, but be sure to check out the episode I put out now about what Wonder Woman means to me. And Robert, how about you?
I got my 500s coming up soon. I still haven't locked in the day yet, but it's going to be probably this weekend. Where I'll be covering Civil War 1 versus Civil War 2.
Yeah, exactly. And Master says, I wish we could also mention DC fan animations. If only there were more. I make my own fan animations. Oh, cool. And yeah. So on that note, everyone, stay heroic. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod, Zois, and Max about for life. Oh, and Steve Trevor, Steve Never. He belongs 6 feet in the ground. See you later, everyone. Bye bye.